Today's question is to calculate the area of a rectangle as non-parameterized constructors. And in the non-parameterized constructors, we have to have some data members. Data members means variables. Variables used in the programs. So these are the variables used in the program, and all the variables have been declared over here what to do. So this variable B will accept the breadth. This variable AR will calculate the area, and L will accept the length of the rectangle. And there is one more place where you have to check for the member functions. Member functions in the sense functions are used in the parameterized constructor program or non-parameterized constructor program. Functions are used. So function here is accept. It is declared over here. One more function is calculate. It is declared over here. One more function is called display, which is declared over here. And the important thing to note over here is the name of the class will be same as the name of the constructor. Name of the constructor. So the constructor name and the class name should be same. See, I have written here over here rectangle NO and non. So here also it is written rectangle NO and non. So name of the class and name of the constructor should be same always. And other thing to note over here is the function doesn't have any return data type, so it is void. Here also the function doesn't have any data type, so it is void. So the function over here is not having any data type, so it is void. So we mean to say constructor doesn't return anything. Do not return anything. So all those functions have been declared as void. And the program will always start from the main function, public static void main string args throws exception. Program will always start from the main function in constructor, and the constructor has to be given an object. An object has to be declared. An object has to be declared. So object has to be declared or object created. The moment the object is declared or the object is created, this object, here I have taken obj for the class rectangle non. Obj is the object created or declared. Immediately that particular constructor will be invoked. It will be invoked immediately. Invoked immediately in the sense it will search for the constructor called by this name, that is rectangle NO and non. So it will search. So while searching for the constructor or the default constructor, it will find it over here. So it found out it over here. The moment it finds over here, it got it, and it will check whether the variables declared over here has been initialized with their default values. Whether they have been initialized with their default values. So L is initialized with the default value, B is also initialized with the default value, AR is also initialized with the default values for all these variables, and it is also known as default constructor or also known as non-parameterized constructor. Why it is called as non-parameterized? Because you can see this brackets. The brackets are empty. The brackets are empty. No variables or no objects are declared over there. It is empty. So non-parameterized. No parameters are given over here within the brackets. Within the brackets, it is empty. So non-parameterized or default constructor. Default constructor means all these variables has to be initialized with their default values. So as I told you, program will always start from the main function. So we'll go to the main function. Main function is given over here, and obj object is created or declared. Immediately it is invoked, So we have seen the invoked. Invoking means it will search for the constructor and the default constructor initialized, and immediately it will go to the member functions. So this object will invoke the first function that is called accept. So accept is a function. So it will search for the function called accept. It will find it over here. It will try to search in the program where the accept function has been declared. So it is finding over there, and very clearly in the question it is given, what the functions are going to do. So this function, it will accept the length and the breadth. This function will calculate the area, and this function will display the area. So as it finds the function over here, accept functions over here, it will get into the body of the function, and it will ask you to enter the length and the breadth. So length and breadth will be entered over here. So length is entered, breadth is entered. So this part of the work is over. Then it will go to the next function after that, that is obj.calculate, object.calculate. So this obj will invoke the function called calculate. So it will find it over here. It will find it over here. It gets over here, gets into the body of the function calculate, and do the calculation L into B. Area of the rectangle, L into B, length multiplied by breadth, and it will be stored over here in the variable AR. So that work is over. So it will again come down to the main function, and invoke the function, one more function that is called display. So obj.display. So it will try to search where the display function has been declared. It will find it over here. So it gets over here, and it will simply display the area of the rectangle, and it will print the value or the area in AR which you got it from here. So I'll show you the output. So before that we have to give a click on compile. You can see the click on compile over here. I'll give a click on compile. The moment you give a click on compile, you can see at the bottom of the screen, class compiled, it says, and no syntax errors. So there is no errors in the program. So it is asking us to enter the length. Now length I have set 6.7. Breadth I have entering 4.9. I'll press enter key. See, area of the rectangle is 32.82998. So this is the area of the rectangle we have entered. I can show you one more time with some different values. Enter the length 12.67, enter the breadth 8.90. So see, area of the rectangle is 112.76299. So this is how you get the output in a non-parameterized constructor.